spawning in the upper right in the red here in this PvP for Team NV. Classic. AlphaX. And in the bottom left, actually playing for Team NV, he is the blue Protoss player, Creator. And again, I know I've said this a couple times, but I am extremely curious as to how PvP is going to shake out in the new meta. And you would think that I would say, well, okay, I know how PvP works now. It's been 3 weeks. Not really true. I mean, we do know, I think this is pretty solved, that we do know that single gate expands on every single map. I think that is a thing of the past. I think proxies, even with shield batteries being weaker on the proxy, are still really good. Because defensively, you're not going to have a Nexus down in time to get the 100 energy shield battery, and you're not going to have that disparity. Doesn't really work. And with the Void Array being 50, effectively being a probe more expensive and taking 6 seconds longer, it also doesn't really work all that well. So, I don't know. It does feel like we're back into the 2-gate meta, and whether this is 2-gate aggression all the time, I've seen a lot of that, but also I've been casting a lot of lower level players. It's not classic Creator necessarily. It is Bistork versus Mindel VK or something. And of course, we know competitively, especially when we're pulling players from, well, we're not pulling any players from NA here, but in competitive situations, it does feel like lower level Protoss players tend to be a little bit cheesier than the Zests and the Classics and the Creators of the world. So Classic is going to open up Stargate in this game. Interesting. Again, it's not crazy. This is not straight voids. This is not max packs. This is 2-gate expand defensive. But he will open Stargate. This gives him a couple different options. It means certainly Oracles can hit the map, and Oracles, again, much better in this matchup than they were in the last one. Necessary, sure, in that game 3, but we saw it took a little longer to kill off the SCVs than it does the probes. So, Oracle's a little bit stronger in this matchup. Phoenix play is, of course, sometimes rather prominent. There was a period where it was just like Phoenix play every other game, especially when Zest played max packs, which was happening a lot in EPT finals right around that time. This was a month and a half ago. But Creator, he sticks to ground. Classic is going air. I mean, that just matches what we know of Classic. He's a big fan of Phoenix. He's a big fan of Oracles, things like that. There was a time when people were talking about how he had some of the, well, actually, it feels like every top Protoss for a while has had the top Oracle micro. Hero had it. Trap has had it. Pretty sure we've talked about having Classic having it as well, but of course, technically that title does go to Trap right now. But the Adepts, they will shade in. They're going to kill the probe and recall on out. No big deal. And the Oracle now running its way onto the other side of the map here. Stalkers, they're kind of trapped in the natural right now. Will the shield battery get canceled? Looks like it will. Okay, so Creator on top of that one. He's a shield battery in the main 3 sentries as well. This really should not get too much of anything. In fact, Creator, he's got a decent stalker. Well, a somewhat decent stalker count. He's got 4 stalkers to the 2 of his opponent, which does maybe give him an opportunity to do something on the other side of the map. What's the shield battery situation at? 1 on the way. So with the 4 Adepts here, 3 Stalkers, this actually should be enough. There's actually a decent amount of stuff here from Classic, and the Adepts are going to try to just shade on top of it. So you jump on top of the army, the Adepts force them to not run away, and while Adepts are not technically good against Stalkers, they are good if you're able to trap them like this. Oracle's doing great damage here. 1 Oracle, oh, it stays alive. This push from Creator is absolutely slapped down. It's a full backhand slap. There is no gentle, just a tap. No. This is a full knockout slap. That push from Creator got absolutely nothing done. And now it is 5 Stalkers, 4 Adepts, a couple Oracles versus 2 Stalkers and maybe some Sentries that their job is going to try to be delayed. But oh, the Adepts, they're in the main. There will be no wall here. And yeah, sure, Stalkers, the natural shield battery is going to do a good job And shield battery in the main base is going to do a good job as well, but now the adepts, they show on up. They pair their shots, and that means this sentry should go down. Shield battery, too damn strong. And shield battery overcharged, and the natural doesn't really matter all that much because Oracles, they pair their shots up as well. Creator's actually handling this very well. That could have been much worse, but he still loses a lot. He still loses 4 workers. He still loses sentries. And that will always be expensive, but the Warpins are here now. There is defender's advantage for Creator. He will be able to force his opponent back. And at the end of the day, okay, this is a dead adept as well, but oh, sentry. No, shield battery is too damn strong. So at the end of the day, where are we at? Creator losing still much more. But did a fairly nice job of holding off what could have been a knockout blow. Realistically, there was a world where Classic kills his opponent right there instead of just, oh, okay, well, we're fine. We're going to sing Kumbaya. I'm going to take some damage, but I do advance further on into this game. So Oracle is going to try to show on up, and while the shield battery is not in a great position to defend the mineral, and the Stalkers are, and that's not going to be able to get all that much done. But Blink's just about done here for both players. The big deal, Creator is getting into his forge much quicker. Classic does not have it. He has no designs on it at the moment, but he does have a third base faster, and he does have more gateways popping on in. We may look to leverage his advanced tech just a little bit, but with the third base going down, that is unlikely. And the game does go on. I actually cast, I think it was Classic. Was it Classic? I cast a Protoss recently that just refused to get a forge, and oh no, it was Nina. It was Nina, and she won the game. It was on Blackburn, where she just refused to. I think she actually had a forge, but she just refused to get upgrades at the forge for a long time. And she said, okay, well, upgrades don't matter. I'm getting a lot of disruptors early. That will counteract any sort of issues that I have, and it did. She ended up losing the series, unfortunately, but for that little bit of time, I mean, she was just getting massive disruptor shots. And it was against the Korean Protoss too. I forget who it was. But okay, charge on the way, +1 on the way. Dark Shrine getting proxied here by Classic. And notice what he's doing with the shield battery. He's kind of sitting behind it. He wants to lure Creator into into the stasis trap. Stasis trap going off in the mineral line here. It's gonna force one probe to go down. Stalkers now blinking on forward on top of this. Classic will have to blink on out of here, but he's gonna get another sentry for the cause. The stasis trap should not get much of anything. Observers there, and that will be that. So Classic, he jumps in, he jumps out. And he still looks like he did get a positive trade in that. Oh, there we go, yeah. Yes, he did. He got a sentry 5 Stalkers for just the 3 that he lost. So Classic, again, just at this point is kind of nickel and dime trading. But we're starting to see his advantages. He's got a 4th base on the way. His charge is just about done. In fact, okay, so he's only on 4 gas. He's gonna just get a lot of charge lot here. It's gonna be charge lot Archon. Maybe the DTs find some value, but again, this is charge lot Archon. This is effectively an all-in. Oh, he misses the observer. There we go. Now this observer should go down. No. How many observers do we have on the field? It's only 1. So if Creator loses this observer, he will be in for a world of pain. But I think we just saw a 2nd get completed. Yes, we did. There's that. More and more Warpins are arriving. Classic right now just posturing. He's looking for an opening. He's looking to see if maybe he can draw Creator out of position so his DTs can find value, so his army can find value, and it looks like he has succeeded in the DT play. Oracle will get blinked upon. It will go down, but DTs in the natural finding a lot of value here. 6 workers go down, and DTs in the main base as well, forcing many. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's Classic Warpins. So he's going to get a lot of stuff here. We're going to see the pylon maybe get depowered, but tons and tons of zealots in the. Oh, that's a big pylon. That's 4 gateways, a forge. That is a massive depower there. So much production lost, and now Creator's got to run into the main base. He has. Oh, okay. The charge is going to get depowered here as well. This is just buying Classic so much time now, and what he's going to do with it, he says, okay, well, let me find your 3rd base. There's some Stalkers here, but again, you don't have charge. You don't have much of anything. The Stalkers, they're going to have to blink on out. Classic leveraging his position in this game to just suplex Creator. That's it. Classic. Game 1. In the bottom left, in the red, he's up 1 for AlphaX. That is actually his team. He's Classic. His opponent in the bottom right in the blue, looking to take us to game 3. Give it up for Creator. Blackburn is a single gate expand map, as we see happening here, because you have the ramp. It's a lot harder to punch your way on up. It just buys more time. It's more of a choke. It works out. Blackburn's also a Phoenix. Any of these ramp maps, these single gate expand maps, for a while they were Phoenix maps, because the way you would bolster your one gate expand would be to move into Stargate behind that. And if you and your opponent both have Stargate, it's almost kind of inevitable that you go Phoenix play. Not always, but if you get one Phoenix and your opponent gets one Phoenix, you're kind of sucked into it. Although, of course, I don't know how much of a... Well, it's going to be Stargate, effectively. One gate expand Stargate openers. I don't know how much that's going to be a thing anymore. Again, strictly because Blood Razor nerfed. Stargate is no longer this ultimate defensive tool that you can leverage to keep yourself safe from most of the aggression that we see happening. Or that tends to happen by the in this meta. So for now, Zealot's out on both sides. This is all normal. What we're looking for is what happens right around the 230 mark. And okay, yeah, Classic immediately go ahead and Stargate. This will get scouted out here by Creator. He knows what's up. And it will both players... Yeah, this is the old build. This is the build... we may see Phoenix here, folks. This is the build that MaxPax uses. You wall off with the Stargate. You stay on 2 bases for a while. You eventually kill the Stargate. If you're not going Phoenix play... If you are going Phoenix play, you just kind of get out there. So now, for now, we got the old rigmarole as both next side get blocked. The Zealots are out here for a reason. It means they don't get the pylons do not get full energy or full HP. In fact, more often than not, they don't even complete. So we're gonna have to see, does Classic cancel? He does, because he says, I want a Cybercore. I want a secondary block. And that's gonna give him a significant advantage here in terms of his Nexus timing. Now, of course, that does mean that the Phoenix gets out just slightly faster, but yeah, this is obnoxious here. Classic, he is what, 30 seconds ahead on his Nexus by now. This is causing consternation, certainly, for Creator in this game. And yeah, he has Phoenix, or his second Phoenix, just a little bit faster. Oh, Classic, you gotta cancel this though, but there we go. There's the cancel. And the probe in the main base actually is gotta stay alive a little bit longer, but Stalker will find it. So that's the end of Mr. Probius. It's dead. We are 2 Phoenix to 2. The war goes on. And this version of PvP is a very interesting one. We're not going to see much happen for a little bit, because much like Muta Wars, or... Yeah, that's probably the other really good example. It's kind of hard to see just how much your opponent has, and then Defender's Advantage is a massive thing. Oh, that's interesting. That is an extremely quick second Stargate. Yeah, Classic's getting his as well. It will be slower, but generally the rule of thumb says that for every base you're mining from, you can get 1 additional Stargate. So Creator, again, he's just kind of waiting here just a little bit. He says, my natural's later. I need to find some way to find an advantage. So he will go second Stargate faster, which will mean he will have not much of a lead. Maybe a third of a Phoenix or something. But for now, we're fine. The game goes on. Nothing is really happening. Creator had the balls to run onto the other side of the map, but Classic didn't feel like engaging. That was that. If we'd seen his second Phoenix, or his 5th Phoenix, I guess, a little bit closer to completion, I think he would have tried to jump on that and had the rallying Phoenix try to go and make something happen. But for the most part, Phoenix engagements have to be, it's kind of mutually assured destruction. You have to have both players agree to do it, agree to go for it. So now, Classic, he's mining out of all of his gases. That's kind of the important thing. He's eventually going to have mineral mining. The question, though, we ask ourselves is how long until one of these players decides to get a 3rd base? And how long until the fleet beacon? How long until Annie pulse crystals? We certainly see games where one player is behind economically, behind in Phoenix, something like that, and they're able to just hit the Annie pulse crystals timing and go from there. Now, this is not a fight Classic wants. You want to make sure that you're stacking really hard. The Phoenix spread out will always lose to the stacked Phoenix player. And there we go. Fleet beacon on the way, both players. Although it looks like Classic actually has a Creator actually has a probe on the map. And Classic does not. So Creator will also be able to get his third base just a little bit faster. Is the Phoenix going to sit on the high ground again? Classic's not doing the best job of stacking them up. There we go. Third base on the way. Which is always going to be nice. But, oh! Probe did the little jiggle move where you put a pylon right on top of yourself so you can squeeze through a wall. And that's going to be nice. The third base is going to be on the way for Classic. Not too much behind his opponent. Looks like the gateway is the thing that will die. Andean Pulse Crystals on the way for both players here. As powerful play goes on. Once again, it's mirrored. So now, we should see a third Stargate coming up rather soon for both players. Creator, he finds himself up 2 probes. A massive difference in this game. And once the third Stargate goes up, we're going to have to see. Does Classic, do they feel like moving into carrier tech, which again, it's a lot of DPS. It's a lot of beef. Wonderful HP sinks, but they take a while to get out. So there is certainly a timing where the Phoenix player that decides to not go for them as fast can run into problems. As that probe will go down. As you see scouting pylons going down here, because the fun part about this build or this style is the fact that you actually don't have anything that shoots down. Structures don't die. Ooh, wait a minute. What are we looking at? Classic finds himself up to Phoenix. He was able to take the moment where the Phoenix, they shot his probe down. He baited it out. So as the shots all went out, that meant Classic was able to take a superior volley in the exchange. But there we go. Anti-pulse crystals on the way for both sides. Ooh, Creator has a much better stack here, so he will take the positive trade in that engagement. And also, notice, Creator, he saved about 100 gas. He did not get Warp Gate. Classic did, and Warp Gate is most likely something that he will not use this game, but there we go. Carriers are on the way, or what are we at? 3 Stargates for Creator, not for Classic, and +1 air on the way here for Creator. So yeah, all the money that is being spent into carriers is being spent into many, many other nice, tasty, useful things for Creator in this game. So Classic, he's going to have to catch up eventually, add that third Stargate, add +1, but because his Nexus is just a little bit slower, it does mean that he cannot move into this next level of stuff as quickly as he would like. Also, Warp Gate was researched in this game where not a single gateway unit matters. It does mean that +1 is going to be faster. So we can just see that direct equivalence here. And, well, we're going to have to see, though, because while Creator will rapidly have more Phoenix, he's up 2 right now, carriers really change the math. Because carriers, while their interceptors are light units, carriers are not. They have a lot of HP, and they do a lot of DPS. Even without +1, interceptors can shred things. So what you effectively, by getting a carrier, you get yourself something like 8 Phoenix. It's not quite the same, but in terms of things for your opponent's Phoenix to target on, we might as well call it 8 Phoenix. So what are we at right now? It is 2 carriers to 0. Classic now, or Creator now moving into carrier play. He's now advancing that tech yet further, and we may see him look to move out with +1. With 3 carriers, with +1, and that will be a big difference. Effectively, +1 is almost +8 for carriers, just because they do have 8 interceptors that shoot. And +1 also extremely effective for Phoenix. They have double shots. So as much as we talked about Classic being just a little bit faster, his third base was fast, or his natural was faster, all of these things are very nice. Well, the third base for Creator, much faster. The fourth base for Creator, much faster. His move into air upgrades, much faster. And his third Stargate, also much faster. So he's kind of got a better understanding of what... It feels like he's got maybe a better understanding of what corners he can cut in this game number 2 to try to find value. Both players, though, they have really good map vision. There's pylons all over the map. Classic sees everything on his side. Creator sees everything pretty much on his side. And the thing I'm interested about, and actually this is going to turn out to be extremely effective in this game, is the fact that Creator has opted for a mothership. More often than not, we talk about motherships as -400, -400. Ah, the memes. Well, when you're Mass Phoenix versus Mass Phoenix, you don't have a robo. You do not have oracles. You don't want to get them. That is Stargate build time that could be better served buying carriers, for example. So with a lack of detection that exists, the mothership is going to soak a tremendous amount of damage, and it means that none of the Phoenix, none of the carriers that Classic does have, they're going to be able to do much of anything. But this is very interesting from Creator here. We saw the Twilight go down, and he's adding on in a couple additional gateways. He's getting charged. He does not have Warp Gate, but he is getting charged, which is kind of funny. So I guess he's just going to chrono out some regular zealots, and he's going to run them across the map and cause problems. But Classic does have some static defense. He's got some cannons now. Not as many as Creator does, but he does have some cannons, some shield batteries. But there we go. Now the mothership's on the way. Classic is maxing out faster as he's sitting here on 10 carriers to the 6 of his opponent, 17 Phoenix to 18, so just about even there. What I actually really like is this addition of sentries, or of a single sentry in this army. You only need one, and it just serves to do so much. It's so many Phoenix shots with the Guardian Shield, and then if you lift it up, that's just a waste of DPS, a waste of time. So mothership just about out. +2 air attack on the way. Classic's kind of catching up with upgrades just a little bit. He's got his forge as well. He added on some additional gateways as well here, because why the hell not? And the Golden Armada, it has arrived. So many Phoenix. They flood the sky. They fill the air. But okay, interesting. Creator. He's not going for +3 air. He's going to go for +1 flyer armor, which of course is less expensive. This is interesting. So, Creator, he's building himself this opportunity to go into ground, to not even warp in, but to build units. Classic is spending all that money. He's buying 3 more Stargates. He wants to buy himself the opportunity to remax. The Oracle is going to effectively whiff on a Revelation here, but Classic owns the high ground. Here's the big deal. His interceptors are out first. One carrier goes down immediately. Do we have a Revelation? We do not, but there we go. The mothership's going on down here, and now the mothership joins from Classic. Yeah, he's down on upgrades, but it feels like he's winning this fight right, and now there's no detection for the army of Creator, but there we go. Now we have the mothership going on down. How many interceptors do we have on the field? 56 to 49. The upgrades, they're starting to show their class just a little bit. The 4th base will go down now. The first major engagement of the war. Finally, we can look at resources lost. Creator, he lost more, and it was all pretty much in that last fight. Mothership being remade here for Classic. It looks like not for Creator right now. He's getting Blink. Oh, okay, he does have Warp Gate now. So he's getting Blink, but not Warp Gate? What strange fever dream am I in? I don't know, but it looks like Creator will lose his 5th base now. He's going for a bit of a base trade, but his opponent does have first mover's advantage, and the mothership will be out soon as well, which is annoying. There's a decent amount of static defense, which is going to slow things down from Creator here, and there we go. There's the recall. Where did it go? Is it into the... Okay, there we go. Into the 3rd base here. So Classic, he is supply block. There's actually an Archon, a couple Archons, which are significant DPS boosts against these interceptors. Here we go, folks. It's kicking off the fight that determines this game, and this is what we're looking at. 13 carriers to 8. They're starting to go on down, but the Archons, they're doing a lot here. A lot of interceptors are going on down. Classic is going to be forced to retreat. The Caracons here from Creator, they're doing tremendous work, but even still, it looks like Creator, does he have enough? The carriers, they have to run on back. The upgrades here for Creator, they're doing damn fine work. Now the Phoenix, they're getting on top of things. 17 interceptors to 27. The interceptors, the carrier play from Creator takes it. The Archons, though, that's the big deal. Creator takes it. We're going to game 3. Hey, folks, that was a hell of a game 2, wasn't it? Hope you're enjoying things thus far, but reminder, before we get into game 3, to like, comment, subscribe to this video. It really does help YouTube pick things up and makes the algorithm play it a little nicer. And also, I stream on Twitch every Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern for EPT NA, every Tuesday, Thursday for the NA Apprentice, 7 p.m. Eastern as well, and Saturdays, 11 p.m. Eastern, EPT Korea, and then Saturdays and Sundays until May for the EU Ascension League, $1,000 tournament for up-and-coming European players. But for now, won't hold you any longer. It's Game 3, Creator Classic. Spawning in the bottom left in the red, he's up 1. Sorry, he's tied in this series. There we go. For AlphaX Classic. His opponent in the bottom, in the upper right, in the blue, taking great to game number 2 with fantastic Archon play. He is Creator. And it feels like in general, Creator has seen a significant resurgence in his ability as of late. He was 6.8k on Korea right before IEM Katowice. And while he did go and, well, very much underperforming Katowice, which I think is fair to say, at the end of the day, he has been looking rather good as of late. This is not just me saying this. This is what I've heard people in Korea saying. So there we go for now. Double gate expand from both players. This is not Curious Minds. This is not Blackburn. Not anything like that. Means you can't really get away with the same type of shenanigans and buffoonery that you can get away on those maps. It will not be a Phoenix War, most likely. Certainly not with this. Well, who knows? We can still go single gate expand into Stargate. Both players lock it themselves into Phoenix play, and we have another long game where nothing happens for the first 15 minutes, and so we just start talking about, oh well, who is going to get to first Stargate faster? Who has the better clump? And Creator really was playing that game better. Yeah, he had his natural delayed, which was unfortunate, but he did go and he was able to, for example, knock down, he took his 3rd base faster, he took his 4th base faster, he got into his quicker Stargates faster, he got his upgrades faster. He should have won the air war, but the micro from Classic was really, the positioning, the micro positioning, whatever you want to call it, from Classic was really good. All right, so where do we go from here? Natural's on the way for both players. Nothing too crazy. There we go. Twilight, so no Stargate play. Nothing. We're not going to be locked into another 20-minute game of nothing happening. It's going to be a little bit more active, but again, this is most likely going to be going to Blink Stalker versus Blink Stalker. Gentleman's agreement into the 3rd base. You get +1. The game kicks off around 7 minutes, and then it gets very exciting. But who knows? Classic Creator may opt to do something a little bit more interesting. We're going to have to see. But for now, Classic, he has his Twilight first, which means he has his Blink first, which means his Nexus is going to be slightly later, but not in really any discernible metric. Which does, of course, give him maybe a little room, depending on how Chronos work out. Creator may choose to spend Chrono energy and really make up this difference. But maybe there's some room here for him to put pressure on the 3rd when that inevitably does happen. But for now, Classic, scouting out on the map, establishing map control, making sure he sees what is up with his early first couple of units. And there we go. Powerful play goes on. And I wish I remembered more of that monologue. It's a great one. You know, we do not read and write poetry because it's cute. We read and write poetry because we are members of the human race. And members of the human race are filled with passion. And medicine, engineering, law, and something are noble pursuits and necessary. Noble pursuits. Something. Anyway, we got DTs coming down from Classic in this game. And did Creator spot it? Well, he sees the stars warping in. He sees the gateway. He's going to rescout. There we go. Dark Shrine has been found on out, which means that this really should not get too much done. We might even see Classic cancel this. We're going to have to find out. There we go. Dark Shrine is canceled. No point in getting it this early. If it does get scattered, you're really banking on the surprise. And now you can leverage the fact that your opponent is preparing for DTs and maybe go for a little bit more of a hammer blow here. As Stalkers, they're going to find a pylon, and getting that down is really important. It means the shield battery will not be able to get too much done here. Classic's blink is done now, so he's going to be able to win this fight rather soon. Really good force fields here from Classic, actually finding his way on in, but Guardian Shield is going to take a lot of the sledge out of this hammer, but Stalkers, they just blink into the friendly confines of it. Shield battery is up now, but Classic is doing damn fine work in this fight, blinking on through the backside, and that should be that. Classic gets what? He gets 7 Stalkers for 4 Stalkers and 2 Sentries. That's actually closer than I thought it was, but still not great here. As now Classic is into the natural only Stalkers here, and sure, shield battery is a great unit, but if you have one-shot potential, you have one-shot potential. So the Stalkers arrive right now. Stalkers now into the main base, and the force field keeps Creator on out. Classic is just dancing in this game. He's got on his ballerina shoes, and he's forcing Creator all over the place. Stalkers now blinking on top of things. Probes getting pulled, but Classic, he just kind of wants to kill his opponent with this small set of units. Now with the Immortal here, less likely, and I think we're going to see a recall rather soon, but not before he snipes down a couple observers, or a couple sentries, excuse me. He blinks onto the natural, kills more probes, because why the hell not? And maybe even just blinks on out of here. Now, he doesn't want to lose too much. It's nice I say that. He's actually just committing to this one. He says, I've got too much. Twinkle Toes, Dancing Shoes, Classic. He gets on out. He gets 10 workers. He gets a lot of Stalkers. He gets some sentries. And he only loses 3 Stalkers. 4 Stalkers, 10 probes, 1 Zealot, 2 sentries for 3 Stalkers. Not the best situation for Creator here, just getting caught out just a little bit. Now the Stalkers killing a Zealot, blinking on backwards. And because of this, because of the damage that Classic has gotten, his Forge is much faster. His charge, much faster. His additional gateway, you get the point. He is, well, his supply is actually down a little bit in Army. His reinforcement time. He has taken this opportunity to put himself so far ahead in so many different opportunities. He's got his 4th base faster. He's got a Warp Prism on the way now. +1's halfway done. His charge is done. He's going to have Archons eventually. And Charizard Archon against Blink Stalker Immortal. If you get to it first, you get a lot of it. It is damn hard for the Immortals to deal with, because Charizard, they just get on top of it. They do lots of small damage, and they cut through the Hardened Shield. They cut through everything else. And here we go. So Zealot's posturing. Classic may wait for +1, as it's not too far off, maybe 20 seconds. But all right, all right, all right. Archons, they're on the way now. And it should be noted, Classic does not have an imperative to kill. He could, and I think he's going to, but he's still up a base. He's up a couple workers, not a ton, but he's up a couple. And with the tech, everything else he has, again, he's not on the imperative to kill, but you might as well take advantage of your timings here. The Stalkers, they're going to knock down the shield battery immediately. Zealot's getting on top of these Stalkers, so they cannot move forward and deal with the Archon. Now, you got to be careful. You want those Archons to find their way into chokes to kill off these Zealots. That Creator has, this is +1, will be denied. The Zealot's trying to get on top of things, but Archons are just absolutely shredding them. More and more stuff warps on in. Warp Prism, though, will not go down, and now that is an aggressive blink that Creator does not see go to fruition. Classic 2-0 over the Team NV Protoss.